Sometimes betrayal isn't just about broken hearts. It's about secrets that should have stayed buried. This true story of infidelity and horror will make you think twice about what you hide. Let's dive in. Megan and Daniel were the perfect couple. At least, that's what everyone thought. Married for 6 years, a beautiful house at the end of a quiet street, and an anniversary approaching that Megan had been planning for months. She'd saved every card, every note, every text, tucked them into a box labeled forever in loopy handwriting. But forever isn't always what it seems. It started small. Missed calls, late nights at the office, texts left unanswered. When Daniel came home, he was distant, eyes glazed, smile forced. Megan tried to ignore it, blamed the stress of his job, the long hours. But doubt crept in, slow at first, then suffocating. One night, when Daniel was in the shower, his phone buzzed. Megan glanced at the screen, heartbeat quickening. The message preview glowed in the dark. "I miss you too. Can't wait for tomorrow." The contact name was just an initial, E. She didn't confront him. Not yet. Instead, she downloaded a spy app, something she never thought she'd do. The guilt twisted her stomach, but she needed to know. Through the app, she saw the texts, flirtatious, intimate, damning, each one a knife to the chest. But it was the photos that turned her blood cold. Pictures of Daniel, but not in some hotel room or unfamiliar apartment. They were taken in their house, their bedroom, her side of the bed. Megan didn't cry, didn't scream, just stared at the screen, mind reeling. That night, she said nothing, lay stiff and silent next to Daniel, eyes fixed on the ceiling until dawn bled through the curtains. The next day, she followed him, heart hammering, palms damp. His car led to a small, run-down house on the edge of town. She parked half a block away, watched him knock twice on the peeling door. A woman answered, dark hair, familiar smile. Megan's breath hitched. It was Emma, her best friend since college. Megan's hands shook as she drove home, nausea rising. Her mind replayed every moment, inside jokes, shared drinks, Emma's lingering hugs. The betrayal burned. But beneath the rage was something darker, a cold dread she couldn't explain. That night, unable to sleep, Megan went to the basement. Daniel had a room down there, his man cave, he called it. She'd never paid it much attention. But now, something pulled her, whispered that she needed to see. The door was locked. Strange, he never locked it. She searched the kitchen drawers, found the spare key, and forced herself to turn the lock. The walls were painted red, dark, suffocating, a shade that soaked up the light. Photos covered every inch, candids of Megan at the store, jogging, cooking. But there were others. Pictures of Emma, of Daniel and Emma, together, faces twisted in passion. But it was the last photo that made Megan stumble back, bile rising. It was Emma, eyes wide, skin pale, lying on a concrete floor. The date scrawled in the corner was over a year old. Has Emma been dead for months? Megan's hands flew to her mouth. A scream strangled in her throat. Her mind raced. She'd seen Emma, spoken to her, hugged her. But the pictures didn't lie. Trembling, she fumbled for her phone, desperate to call the police, to run, to do anything. Then she heard it. A soft, muffled noise from behind the walls. A woman's voice, hoarse, desperate. Please, help me. Megan stumbled back, eyes darting to the wall. The drywall was uneven, a slight bulge near the corner. She grabbed a hammer from the workbench, swung it wildly, chunks of plaster crumbling to the floor. Behind the wall, a small space, dark, reeking. And inside, Emma, alive, barely. Eyes dull, wrists bound, lips cracked. When she saw Megan, tears streamed down her cheeks. Police arrived minutes later, lights flashing, radios crackling. They pulled Emma out, took Megan's statement, scoured the house. But Daniel was gone. His phone, wallet, keys, everything. The search lasted weeks, but he never resurfaced. Emma was hospitalized, barely coherent, words slurred and broken. But the fragments painted a nightmare. Months of captivity, darkness, Daniel's rage, his promises that Megan would join her soon. In the end, all they found were more photos, more memories. And in the basement, a second space, sealed tight. Inside, a mattress, chains, a second set of photos, this time of Megan. Megan moved out the next day, left the city, changed her name. But the nightmares stayed. The feeling of eyes on her back, of doors creaking in the dark. Months passed with no sign of Daniel, no closure. Until the package arrived, no return address, no note, just a single USB drive. She hesitated, fingers numb, but plugged it in. A video file blinked open. Daniel's face filled the screen, eyes dark and empty. He smiled, slow and cold. "Miss me?" The screen cut to black. Then, one final message appeared, white text on darkness. You were next. Was Daniel caught? Or is he still out there? Watching, waiting. What would you do if you found out your partner was a maniac in your house? Comment below. And be careful who you give your trust to. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily stories.